Having a blessed morning on this blessing Monday, which is really, really humid outside. So, keep a bottle of water while you outside, out and about. Um, I wasn't gonna go live because I loaded up for all of July. So I got a lot of stay tuned. I got a lot of videos for the whole entire July for y'all, and they really, really good ones. And I gave you all of June. I think I gave you all of June. I loaded you up is because I come up. I have, like I said, I have a zillion topics, and these topics that I have and these thoughts and images that I have come from a spiritual realm of coming from experience. But this one right here is going to be a really, really good one for y'all. And the reason why it's going to be a really, really good one is because at one particular time in your life, you was considered to being underneath a bridge. You found me underneath a bridge. And the reason why I'm saying that you found me underneath a bridge, because that's where I was. I was underneath a bridge. And that was the only shelter for me. That was the only sanctuary for me in being underneath the bridge, right? The bridge brought me shelter. The bridge brought me protection from the rain and a lot of other protection. Kept me off grid, right? I was homeless. I was a junkie. I was a drug addict, you know, being sexually assaulted and all of these other things that plagued my life. So the only sanctuary that I had was the bridge. And the reason why I'm saying the bridge, that's to all the victims that suffer with the bridge and that's underneath the bridge. How you doing, Orange Juice Production? Can you grab the camera for a Lama Junk editor? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? The bridge is a very difficult life. Sleeping underneath the bridge is a very difficult life. Is because you are hit with all different type of change of the weather. You are hit with all seasons. You are hit with heat. You are hit with cold. You are hit with everything. You are hit with homelessness. You are hit with not having the proper um, etiquette of yourself. You losing yourself. Majority of people that's underneath the bridge, they have lost themselves so many years, right? And I was underneath the bridge for a very, very long time. And being underneath the bridge for a very, very long time, you start to forget reality and your reality on who you are. There's no more on who they are, or who they are. It's just nothing exists but you in the bridge. Your basic everyday activity is going out, action, looking in the garbage, looking for something to eat, action, panhandling, and all of these other things. When you're underneath the bridge is protection from you. You are being protected by your own thoughts and your own self when you are underneath the bridge. And the majority of the time, when you're underneath the bridge, there is a lot of pain and suffering upon your life that you're running from, that you did to others and you did towards yourself. That's why there's a lot of people underneath the bridge to this day and will be at the end of time. The bridge is a sanctuary where you can run from your thoughts and hide away from society. And the bridge could be considered you entering a relationship where somebody found you underneath the bridge, found you with no home, found you homeless, found you with no food, found you with no job, found you with nothing, basically nothing, you know? And you've been facing homelessness all your life. You've been running from house to house all your life, drinking and smoking, drinking and smoking. You know, there's people in society and life, they don't care. They don't care whether you was drinking or smoking, is what you did basically upon them, that they won't never forgive you. But how can you forgive someone that was plagued with the same thing, that was plagued with trauma and depression of being underneath the bridge? Underneath the bridge doesn't necessarily have to mean a physical bridge. It can mean a bridge in your thought. Do you understand? A bridge in your thought. It's a big space and a gap that is missing. That if you don't correct it, the bridge will collapse on you. If you don't, if you do not fix that gap and that crack in that bridge over time, the bridge will collapse on you and you will perish. I want you to understand the metaphor that I'm giving up because it's really, really important, right? And as I was sitting here in my house, sitting here just thinking about the bridge, and I also was thinking about my life. Majority of people in nowadays is living underneath the bridge, trying to make ends meet, basically. And the only way they can make ends meet is by pushing themselves to certain activities in their life that's keeping them stagnated, that's keeping them underneath the bridge. They don't want to rise up above the bridge. It's because the bridge has a different level in society. It has more responsibility, it has more thought, it has more understanding that you have to activate in yourself, that you have to look in for yourself. So being that placing yourself underneath the bridge, I don't have to deal with traumas and depression. And the way I could deal with traumas and depression is being underneath the bridge, my sanctuary, right? And dealing with my own pain and problems and traumas in different seasons. I'm okay there. I want you to really think about the things that we are doing upon our life and the pain and suffering that we causing ourselves and others. And sometimes, you know, things enter in our life and we blame others. But the reality, the fact, you yourself put yourself in situations that you cannot get out of. And you want to have everybody around you to point fingers at that person that was underneath the bridge, while you, your very self, is underneath the bridge. So it's bridge on top of being bridge. It's bridge on top of being bridge. Do you understand that? That is the same, the same thing as crabs in the barrel mentality, but this one is more powerful. This is one more powerful than a crab in the barrel mentality. It's placing gaps and bridges on top of each other. When you do these things and you lie, right, upon people, and you see people is no longer underneath the bridge of traumas and depression and beat the odds, thinking that this individual is the same person. The question is, how did this individual, your very self, how did you beat the bridge? How did you beat being underneath the bridge and I'm still underneath the bridge? Why is that? Why you get the opportunity to be on top of the bridge and I'm underneath the bridge? Because you are allowing yourself inside your thoughts and understanding to let the bridge be your sanctuary. And if you do not correct these certain things, that crack in the bridge is gonna become is gonna get worse and worse and worse each and every day. And what's gonna happen is that the bridge is gonna collapse upon you. So If this bridge is going to collapse upon you, you want to take others and everybody. You want to point the fingers and blame because you're still living with these traumas and depression of being underneath the bridge. Do you understand that? You want to blame each and everybody for traumas and depression, even though the person rose above the bridge. Now you pointing the finger. Well, this person was underneath the bridge. This person was an alcoholic. This person was a drug addict. This person was homeless. This person was going from house to house. This person had this going on. This person had that going on. Constantly, constantly bringing up situation about this person being underneath the bridge and sleeping underneath the bridge. And this was the person's sanctuary. This is an actual true fact. And this is what go on in society each and every day as you exit and enter your homes. Each and every day. People do not want you to rise above the bridge. They want you to be underneath the bridge. And underneath the bridge is considered in society what? Is a loser, is a drug addict, homeless, beaten by the odds, beaten by the system, an alcoholic, a drug addict, pedophile, any everything that's underneath that bridge, people are considered. Do you understand that? They look down upon, nobody cares about them. They do their own thing, they in their own world down in that bridge. In your own thoughts and your understanding. You do not want nobody to rise above the bridge. And I see it every single day. Every see every single day people are underneath the bridge. Do you understand that? At one particular time, you're gonna have to rise up above the bridge. You're gonna have to take responsibilities, your own action, right? And rise above the bridge. There's nothing wrong with rising up above the bridge. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong. You got to ask your higher power with inside of yourself to help you get back to yourself. Yo, I'm back, bro. Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you back, man. This is a really, really good one. Just talking about you found me underneath the bridge. The creator, the Alpha Omega, the creating everything existing, found me underneath a bridge. And I was underneath the bridge for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. I was underneath the bridge at a young age. I was plagued with the underbridge syndrome. And the underbridge syndrome is I wasn't never going to be nothing in life. I'm never going to be nothing in school. I'm not going to have no trade. I'm going to be in and out of jail. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to have 1,000 babies, 1,000 baby mamas. I'm going to be in drugs. I'm going to be an alcoholic, smoking cigarette, no clothes, or bum in the street. That's the underneath the bridge syndrome that a lot of people have. You don't have to be underneath the bridge to have the underneath the bridge syndrome. You could be a person that's functioning and have the ability and have the mindset of underneath the bridge, meaning that you don't want to rise and you want to stay there underneath the bridge because you feel comfortable there and you want to sit there and point the fingers, point the fingers, point the fingers as people are progressing in life. Of course, I remember you. Of course, I remember you. Of course, of course, Brandon. Of course, I remember you. How you doing? Glad that you back, Brandon T1. That's my boy. How you doing, man? How you doing? I'm glad that you here, man. How you doing? So the bridge is at some particular time in everybody's life. You crossed it at one particular time in your life, meaning that you was trapped in it. There's a lot of people that's in the bridge and have the bridge syndrome right now, and they are active in society, active each and every day, but they don't know that they have the bridge syndrome and the bridge mentality. I had it. I rose above the bridge. but people that you interact with, people that you passed and left behind, they want to keep reminding you that you was underneath the bridge, that you didn't have no education, you didn't have no job, you was a bum, you didn't have no money, you didn't have anything, you didn't have nothing. They didn't know that the creator instilled in you all of those qualities of a man supposed to have. Congratulations, man, Brandon. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations that you hit 9 subscribers. Congratulations to you. And I hope and pray that you continue on hitting more subscribers, you know, as you go on your channel, man. All you gotta do is put the work in, man. You know, a lot of us, like I said, a lot of us have this bridge mentality and being sleeping underneath the bridge. I was there for a very, very long time of my life, man. I was there pointing the fingers at everybody, pointing the fingers at the man, pointing the fingers at my parents, pointing the fingers at my relationship, pointing the fingers at everybody that I wanted to. But I should have pointed the finger towards myself. You understand? And that's the only way you could begin the process of becoming becoming someone that can be a leader and come up underneath the bridge, be on top of the bridge, and stop pointing the fingers and living in the past. Do you understand that? There's certain people they love to live in the past. That's why they keep bringing it up, because you are basically are successful inside they mind and heart, body, and soul. You supposed to be a bum. You don't supposed to have a house. You don't supposed to have a car. You don't supposed to have a city job. You don't supposed to be living like this. But it's not you. It was the Alpha Omega, the creator and everything in existence that placed you above the bridge and gave you sanctuary and just keep bringing you up, rising you up above the bridge. Do you understand that? While these individuals find ways and actions to lie upon you, to lie upon you. Yes, of course, you was plagued with drugs and alcohol. You was plagued with prison. You was plagued with homelessness, sleeping in the street. You was underneath the bridge. You was underneath the bridge, not literally a bridge, but I'm talking about the mindset. But there's people that live underneath the bridge, literally. All of those things is all of those categories that I just talk about. Those are bridge syndromes, meaning that you are sleeping underneath the bridge with homelessness, with no food, with no job, with no medical benefits, or you're not taking care of yourself. You actually on the bridge of dying. You got one foot in, one foot out. You're not caring. Do you understand that? Do you not understand that? You got individuals that's functioning, that's doing that, right? They don't have to literally be underneath the bridge, but they got the syndrome. They're not checking on they health. They're not checking for homelessness. I mean, to get a house. They're not checking for a job. They're not checking for any of those things that's going to bring them above the bridge. Okay, Brandon, thank you so much, man. I really appreciated that you let me know that you was here, man. So this bridge can be what? Can be a leading force for you or could be a downfall for you. And most people want to use the bridge as a downfall, but represented as a way out. But there's no way out for you. You got to go all in if you want to live above the bridge. If you want to stop being underneath the bridge. You found me underneath the bridge. And where you found me underneath the bridge at, I was plagued with so many traumas already. I was plagued with it, drinking and alcohol. And you know, people said they don't care. They don't care what you was plagued with. They don't care. So when you don't care and show these actions that you don't care that the next person was plagued with traumas and depression and alcohol abuse and all of those diseases. So something's not going to care about you. Something or someone or somebody's not going to care about you. You're going to be plagued with darkness upon darkness in your life, thinking that you're living in the light, but you're not living in the light. Do you understand this? Do you understand that? And a lot of people don't understand that they got the bridge, underneath the bridge syndrome mentality. They don't want to see nobody else rise above the bridge. Do you see how many tents are underneath the bridge? People that's homeless, people that just checked out of life. There's over 20 or 30, 40, 50 people down there that checked out of life. That don't care about life. But they have the ability to be above life as we see it, as mankind push forth in society and community. They don't want no parts of it. But you can rise above it and to be a leader and to be a force so people can understand. People don't want to see that. They don't want to see you be a force. They don't want to see you lead other people to victory in their life. Do you understand that? Because they got something going on that they don't want to let go in their life and plagued with traumas and depression. They don't know how to get it out. They don't know how to get it out. So they plague you with the underbridge syndrome, blaming you. And this is the way it go, man. And I want you to look at it. The underbridge mentality, the underbridge syndrome. That one particular time everybody's plagued with that. So you found me underneath the bridge, and underneath the bridge meaning I was addicted to alcohol and cigarettes. I was addicted to the life. I was addicted to any everything. I was addicted to violence and in and out of prison, in and out of homeless shelters and stuff like that. You found me there. You found me there. You found me there. Does that mean that make me less than a human being? That means that I'm nothing. That means I'm worthless. I'm trash. I'm garbage. That society said I am. Underneath those bridge, those people that's underneath their bridge, they trash, they garbage. Nobody cares about them in society. Look at them. A lot of those individuals that's underneath the bridge are living longer than the people that's on top of surface. Do you understand that? They are not plagued with the same thing. They're not plagued with the traumas and depressions and all the other stuff. They living rent free, problem free. So they are allowed to live off the land. Whatever the creator got for them, he got for them. They making it work. So that lets me know that you can survive in calamities and all of that other stuff in every season by living underneath the bridge also. You got two hands there. Which one you want? I chose to be above the bridge. I don't want no longer to be underneath the bridge. So I rose up with the almighty help to be on top of the bridge where you found me and cleaned me up and housed me and clothed me and told me that you loved me and gave me sanctuary. And I became on top of the bridge. Think about that. Think about it. Peace. Peace.